This week, in our search for the spiritual awakening, is all about healing with crystals. First, I want to introduce my dear sister Sakshi. I really love to share my path with you because for some reason we just crossed. And from the beginning, you let everybody clear that crystals is your world.
Yeah.
That you, that they are working very good for you. And I want you to explain us how did it change your life?
Definitely. I'd love to talk about that. So I've always been into the esoteric world, so to speak. I started my journey into this world at a very young age when I figured that there is something beyond just the obvious. And I had no idea what manifestation was at that point. You know, when we were growing up in the 90s, it was such a fun time period. But it was also a time period where kids didn't really have access to understanding manifestation or understanding energy work or understanding that there is something beyond your regular realm that could be working in your favor. But I was feeling it and I just didn't know how to process it. And I started working with card reading and intuitive divinations when I was about 16, 17. And I started learning more about psychology and the mind with hypnotherapy when I was about 21, 22. And then a few years later, I was just introduced to crystals. And I personally believe that crystals show themselves to you in your space when you're ready for it. Because they're just such beautiful, such amazing, I like to call them souls because I feel each crystal has such a wonderful consciousness inside of it. Each crystal has such an amazing energy and power and memory that
That's
it
amazing.
literally brings in certain transformation in your life. And yeah, very much like anyone who's new in crystals, even me, I would go to these little kiosks wherever I could find them and, you know, be like, okay, what is this crystal for? What is that crystal for? And obviously at first you're just picking up stuff that is attracting you, right? So my first crystals ever were, three of them were amethyst, rose quartz, and pyrite. These were the three crystals that I picked up ever, small, tiny little rocks of them. And they were just so gorgeous. Like I would sleep with the amethyst and the rose quartz under my pillow. I didn't even know if I'm supposed to do that. And I would like pretty much get the best sleep. I would wake up very sorted, like I know how to solve whatever issue that was playing on my mind at that point. And the pyrite, I just kept it in the corner of the room because it looked pretty and I didn't even know what I'm supposed to do with it. But I got pulled into it a bit by bit because at the same time, parallelly, my mother was learning a lot about crystals. And again, this was just coincidentally, like I had no idea that's what she was doing. And then one fine day, my mom was like, hey, guess what? I took a crystal healing class. And she started telling me about crystals and she started bringing more crystals to me. And I would just hold one crystal and it would just speak to me, like it would just connect to me. And I know it sounds ridiculous when I say it, but it's just such an amazing energy emission that comes out from the stone itself. The vibration is just unique.
It's not ridiculous at all, you know, because that is how it manifests in each
Absolutely.
of us, right? Yeah. And if, as you said, if the crystal choose you to talk to you, that's amazing. Definitely. Yeah. And I know for me the crystals is a connection to earth.
Yes, that's true.
That is what it represents for me. So absolutely. Something that helps you like anchor in
definitely
in the reality. I love them. I don't know so much about them. I try.
Yeah.
So I really have to say, you really need to study, and then you really need to open your mind, you know, because it is a lot of concepts.
It is a lot of concepts, yeah. So when I teach crystal healing, I actually teach the science behind it. Because when you talk about crystals, you know, we get carried away with the energy and we get carried away with the magic of things that it almost sounds very esoteric, and it almost sounds like it's not even real, like these people have it in their head. But when you uncover the science behind crystals, it's just beautiful. Like just the molecular structure itself, it's an extended lattice. So it's a very well structured symmetry of beautiful bonds that allow the crystal to hold information inside it. That is how crystals have the vibration that they do, because they're literally holding that information. Electronics use crystal quartz watches. So the whole concept of timekeeping in watches began because the quartz crystal, with the quartz crystal, it was possible now to predict the accurate time.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the motherboards use shards of quartz crystals. The memory cards use shards. That's how the memory is possible. So science is already used, technology is already using it. And what we're doing is, when we're holding up a crystal, this is a beautiful amethyst cluster that I have. Well, it literally has energy because it's got the same molecular structure that allows it to hold the memory, that allows it to hold information within it. So when you put an intention, that's how it's holding your intention and helping you achieve it, because it's already got the structure, the crystal lattice structure that allows it to hold that information.
I wonder, when you go and walk into a shop to buy a crystal, and you go without information, just following your instincts, and because that's the first step, right?
Right.
You just go and try to grab the one that is calling you, or the one you like the most.
Yeah.
How do you know it's not fake?
Yes, so this is a very big issue now, and it's unfortunate that a lot of crystal retailers are keeping fakes because of the demand, and I'm not entirely sure if they're able to source the right kind of crystal, so they started faking it. But there are a couple of different ways that you can test if a crystal is real or fake. First and foremost, you should immediately feel something, because the vibration itself of the crystal is very strong and it's very high. So even if you're someone who doesn't understand vibrations, when you hold a normal rock versus when you hold a crystal formation, because the molecular structure is different, because the crystal has the ability to influence the energy that comes out. We all have energy, right? This is proven, and energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's transformed. So I have energy that's coming out of me. The table that is in front of me has a different vibration of energy. The crystal has a different vibration. This is a strong vibration, and you will be able to feel it. But for those of you who are not able to feel it, the other test that you can do is a temperature test. So crystals, they change their temperature. So if they are in an air-conditioned space, they will be very cold. But when you're holding them, just hold on to them for like half a minute or like 15-20 seconds. They will change the temperature and they will get hot very quickly, because they're responding to your energy, because there is that energy friction happening, right? It's piezoelectric energy friction. Versus a normal rock, it takes much longer for it to warm up. Like if you hold the water pebbles, they will warm up too, but it takes much longer, not as fast as a crystal. A crystal would literally get hot in your hands very quickly. So I love doing the temperature test.
Yeah, that's easy to do. I love it.
Yeah. And the other test is, of course, it's the color test, but you need to know the crystals a bit more, especially citrines, which are faked. So people are taking amethysts and heating them. So when you heat amethyst, they change their color. So it's basically heated amethyst. But what's also happening is that it's changing its density and it's changing the structure itself. So it's no longer an amethyst, and it's certainly not a citrine. So it's just a yellow rock that has lost its properties. And a lot of shops are selling these as citrine crystals, and people may not be able to see the benefit. People, some argue that there is placebo effect, so they will be able to see the difference. A placebo effect would be possible from everything, absolutely. So I'm not even arguing about that. But a pure citrine will be a bit transparent. Like when you hold it up against the light, and if you run your hand through it, you should be able to see the shadow. You should be able to see, not entirely transparent, but you should be able to see what's happening on the other side of the crystal. Versus if it's completely opaque, then you know that the citrine is fake.
Okay.
Also, very bright yellow citrines are generally fake or whitish. So a good citrine usually has hints of gray in it. So the grayish yellow ones are the accurate ones. So yeah, these are
And
some of the things. Hope this helps you.
the bigger the crystal is more powerful the effect, or it doesn't matter. It could just hang like in your necklace and that's
Right.
it.
So this is my bracelet that I'm wearing. This is
I
a mother of
love
pearl.
it.
This is an azurite, and this is a larimar. And this right here is a Lemurian quartz. Imagine if I would hang this on my neck and walk around. So, sure, bigger the better is the general theory in life. But what I like to do is the larger crystals, such as these, I use them for spaces.
Okay.
Versus smaller crystals work well on your person, would work well on your body. Or when you're meditating, and if you meditate with like a tiny little angel like this, just hold it and meditate it, and that would work well. You could meditate with a big rock such as this on your chest as well. It's fine if you're comfortable, but I would prefer that the bigger rocks be used in a spatial format and the smaller ones be used on your person or just something in your bag.
So when you meditate, can you notice the difference when you are with crystals?
Definitely. Not only with crystals, even which crystal you meditate with, it gives you a lot of difference, right? Let me just show you. This is my moldavite, and I'm going to try and hold. I will try to achieve something here. Okay, so that's a beautiful pure moldavite. Sorry, I messed up my light system there.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. When you meditate with a moldavite versus when you're meditating with a black tourmaline, I don't have any black tourmalines next to me at the moment, but there is certainly a very strong difference, because a moldavite this is again where chakra knowledge comes in. Your moldavites are corresponding to your third eye chakra, your soul star chakra, your crown chakra, and all the chakras, the 15 chakras above you that are connecting to your higher consciousness. So the meditation itself is very out of body. You literally feel a lot of pulls, you feel a lot of shifts. Versus when you meditate with a black tourmaline, I'm trying to find one around here. It's fine. It's the one which is black in color. When you meditate with the black tourmaline, it's very grounding, right? Okay. So you literally feel more connected to earth. You start feeling a lot of dispelling of toxic emotions, or in some cases actually dispelling of even toxic material from your body. There is an instant need to get up and run to the washroom. That has happened to people as well. So the grounding crystals, or the sacral and the solar plexus and the root chakra crystals, they definitely help you feel a lot more grounded in your reality. Versus the upper chakra crystals will give you a little bit of more out of body experience, a lot more connection with the angelic realm, even connection with your higher self. And the heart chakra crystals are just the fulcrum. So
wow, I've never meditated with crystals before, but now listening to you, I just want to go to the shop and buy some crystals.
Definitely.
So when you meditate, you just put it around you?
Yeah.
And set the intention.
Definitely set intention. There are lots of different ways to meditate. So there are a lot of body layouts that you can do. Like at different points of your body, you can place different kinds of crystals to achieve different results. This morning, actually, before doing the interview with you, I was working on a karmic release meditation with crystals. So I literally worked with this beautiful angel called Danburite. and I was just working across all my chakras for a karmic release. Sometimes when I get a headache, I work with amethysts and I just place them on my collarbones and different spots in my body. And that literally just gives me a lot of release from pain. So again, it depends on what you're trying to achieve. But the most simplest thing you can do will be just aligning all your chakras with crystals, right? So you can place each chakra at different points of your body and stay there for like a good, as long as you want, actually, there's no time limit.
It's amazing, and I hope you have these courses online too, because it will be amazing to learn about.
Definitely. I have a course coming up this Saturday, the 2nd of October, and it's a slightly advanced level course, but that's fine. Even if you're a beginner into it, you'll still be able to catch up, because we're going to talk about different shapes of crystals, and we're talking about body layouts very much in depth, and distance healing. And then I have another advanced course coming up the week after, which is on the 9th of October. And that's going to be all about grid and sacred geometry and elixirs. And yeah, they are available online as well. So these are in-person courses, but I will be running the Zoom on the side for those who can't make it.
Yeah, because as I said at the beginning, there is a lot of information. And you really have to read it. And if you don't have time to dedicate to the big reading, having a class with you will be amazing, because I have a lot of questions. I want to ask you as well about the charts. And how do you put the crystals on the charts?
What do you mean by charts?
You have like charts just behind you.
The grids, you mean? Are you talking about the grids? Which one?
Yeah, like the green you have behind you.
This one?
It's those. No, where you put the crystals. Yeah.
The grid. Yes.
Oh, it's not okay. It's not chart. It's grid.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's called the crystal grid. I talk a lot about. Let me just show you one that I have here. This is my personal grid. Oh, hold it up well.
Oh, okay. So, I love that. What is it?
So this is a mandala for the throat chakra, because my work is essentially, obviously, communication and speaking. I am a therapist. So this is a throat chakra mandala. This was created by one of our community members, and she was kind enough to allow me to use that mandala for my grid. And so basically what happens in a grid is it's deliberate placement of different crystals on a sacred geometry pattern for it to work together. So it's like, to make it simple, like Yadira has certain qualities and Sakshi has certain qualities, right? Yadira has an expertise in QHHT, right? And Sakshi's got her expertise in crystal, let's just say that. So when you go to Yadira, you've got this amazing experience of your past life and knowing where the blocks were and what's happening. And when you're coming to Sakshi, you've got this beautiful alignment of chakras and alignment of your energy. But what if you want to work with them together? Right? Very different expertise, very different science, but what if we want to make them work together? This is exactly what a crystal grid does. You have a kyanite, which is all about communicating the higher realm and reaching your higher self. And then you have a danburite and a sodalite, which is all about your inner self, which is all about communicating with your subconscious. It's about anxiety release, right? Because a lot of people that come in are generally coming in because they need mental health support. So there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of anxious energy that comes in, and I need something to calm that anxious energy down. At the same time, there are citrines, because we are living in a world where we need the business rolling, where we need the work rolling, right? So we've got citrines, which is confidence, and which is, bringing in, I don't want to use the word, let's just, not reputation, but bringing in a good repute, or bringing in the positive word of mouth, which is so important in our trade, right? um,
Yes.
and also bringing in the right kind of people that want to make a difference to themselves. These are a lot of things that you want to achieve, but you possibly can't have all these crystals on your body all the time. So this is where a grid comes into focus, where you take what you require and you pull out different kind of crystals that help with these, and you deliberately place them in a sacred geometry pattern where they work together with each other.
And then you keep it with you, like
Yeah, and then
close
you
to
could
your
just keep it
bed.
on your space. Yeah, you could just keep it on your space very much like I have, which is right here. So here you have an anti-anxiety crystal working with a confidence crystal, working with a higher self crystal.
That's amazing.
And the ones
I
that you
want
see
to learn
behind
that.
me are different. Sorry, what's that?
I want to learn that too.
Yeah, well, 9th of
Yeah,
October, if you can make it.
I will. Yeah, I will double check, but I'm gonna make sure that I can.
Sure,
So you
definitely.
just you paste them
Yeah,
in the grid.
yeah. What I do is I paste them in the grid. Yeah, that works well. So you can it's important to have some sort of a sacred geometric pattern, and then you can paste them, but you should know what you're working with. And
Of
yeah, but
course.
that's a bit advanced level, like, so that they're not clashing with each other. They usually don't ever clash, but sometimes it also depends on the personality of the person that comes in and what's going on with them.
That's amazing. So just like a little bit of information about maybe one crystal that works good with with every chakra that we have,
Okay.
so people can relate more about crystals and the chakras and how to link them
Sure.
together.
So if I were to, I will definitely talk about a few crystals. But before that, I just want to give you a tip that all crystals will work with all chakras with intentions. So even if you have something as beautiful and soft as a rose quartz, or something as wonderful as and light as an Amazonite, which is right here, but you need to dispel dark energy, or you need to dispel extreme negativity, and you don't have a black tourmaline with you or a black obsidian with you, you can even place an intention in something as light and beautiful as an Amazonite or a jade or a rose quartz, saying, listen, I need to dispel energy. There's a lot of negativity around me. There might be entities around me. I need your protection. And the crystal world does work in all realms. So in a scenario where you do not have all crystals, or you do not have the right crystals for what you need to do, don't panic, don't worry, it's fine. Grab whatever crystal you have a communication with that crystal, set the energy and work with it. So I do want to give that tip to everyone.
So you talk to your crystals.
Of course, please talk to your crystals. Everyone should talk to their crystals.
Oh, that's amazing.
They respond even better. Crystals have the most amazing consciousness. So if you treat them like friends, then definitely you'll have a great time with them. But still, to answer your question, a crystal that works overall, I would say a clear quartz, very much like this. This is a clear quartz. This is a Lemurian clear quartz. This is a clear quartz tower.
Okay.
It's called a master healer because it works beautifully with your aura, in your auric field, to cleanse the auric field, to energize it. It's a most amazing crystal to use along with any crystal. So if you have I'm having a larimar around my throat, and if I just peg it along with a clear quartz, it enhances it. In general, quartz crystals enhance and amplify.
Okay.
So any kind of quartz is going to help you amplify, which is why rose quartz works so well with love, because it amplifies the love energy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So a clear quartz works beautifully well across the board, across all the chakras. You can even have a clear quartz to cleanse your root chakra, to allow it to eliminate whatever is happening. Typical root chakra crystals would be red jaspers, or anything which is black tourmaline, black obsidians, hematites. But if you don't have those, you could just use your clear quartz and just clear out whatever is happening there. It's going to amplify each and every one of your chakras. And it's a great crystal to use for your aura as well. Um, Another must-have crystal would be an amethyst. I recommend everyone to have an amethyst. It's absolutely
Okay.
brilliant and it's beautiful. Amethyst provides a lot of mental clarity. And it is a third eye
Okay.
chakra stone, which is why it helps
Mhm.
you with visualizations, with manifestations. It gives you an instant mental clarity about things. Like it sets your thought patterns right. And I think all of us need it because it's so easy to get
Yes.
lost, you never know
Yes.
what you're doing is right or wrong. Everyone does what all our actions are done because we think they are for the highest and best in the given moment in time, but we really
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it is right or wrong. You only know that in hindsight. You only know that when you retrospect the situation. But this is
Yes.
why I love my amethyst so much, because I feel like my mind is a little more aligned and I'm able to see things a bit more clearly than I would
That's
ordinarily do.
amazing.
Yeah,
Wow, yeah, so I'm gonna buy those two.
definitely an
You
amethyst.
know, it would be so nice in this time of anxiety and stress. What can we put under the pillow?
I would say go for something like a rose quartz. It works very, very well under the pillow. Like I said, it magnifies the energy of love, and
Okay.
I think every emotion and every reaction in some way is somehow directly or indirectly related and proportional to the energy of love,
Of love,
right?
yeah, of course, yeah.
So we hate because we are unable to express the love, or we feel the lack of love. We are cranky because we don't receive the love. So somewhere or the other, there is always love involved in everything. And I think a
Yes,
rose
yes,
quartz
that's
is
right.
an absolutely beautiful crystal to put under your bed, put under your pillow. And crystal and amethyst mix, if you want to do a lot of dream work, or if you want to do a lot of other REM work while you're sleeping, then that's going to assist you as well. The amethyst and the rose quartz.
I just can't believe that this crystal world is so infinite, right? It's
It is
like
infinite. Yes.
you can't just keep talking about each of every crystal, and there's like, how many crystals do you know?
Well, in my space at the moment, I have about 53 crystals.
Wow.
How
Mm-hmm.
many crystals are there? One of the books that I have has documented 255 crystals, but I think the combinations go well over 25,000.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's a lot of
Well
information.
over
That's
25,000. It could be millions even. I may not know but it's a lot. It's infinite. I like the word that you used.
yes, it's incredible because uh, how you put it, how we can mix them, how we can
Yeah,
work with them together, how we can use them with just for different aspects in our lives. It looks like the possibilities are amazing. And I am glad that you said that you're a therapist, because it's not only saying just teaching about crystals, but you go deeper. You ask
definitely.
for what is inside you, and that's how you can help. And when you talk, even if you don't want to talk to anybody, if you talk to your crystal, that is that is something that I
Absolutely.
have never tried before. But of course, crystals are also alive. I'm very connected to
Yes.
Mother Earth. I'm pretty sure they will help with love.
Yeah. So there's something amazing that I always talk about crystals is they come from the generation of a crystal itself starts from the core of the earth, and then it makes its way up through the mantles and up into the crust. So at the time that crystals are received by humans, they've reached the crustal level. So it's called sample mining. I don't want to go deep into mining because that's always a controversial topic. But unlike gemstones, crystals are not mined by going deep into the shafts or deep into the earth. It's called sample mining, they're there at the crust level. So in general, most crystal mining is ethical. We don't have
Okay.
we don't have any other issues that come attached with crystals. But I don't want to get into that topic because it always gets controversial. Okay.
Yeah.
So crystals are helpers that are provided to us by Mother Gaia. Like these are Mother Gaia's little angels that are helping us, right? Um,
Yes.
when we understand the chakra system, and I always talk about it in my classes as well, energy comes into us and flows out of us, right? So our
Yeah.
root chakra is also grounding us by the excessive energy flow or the unrequired energy that we choose to dispel that goes deep into earth. That's what grounding, that's the meaning of grounding, is when you are sending out or dispelling your energy into the earth so that it can ground and it can take away everything that is not necessary, and also at the same time it can root you to your belongingness onto the planet. That's
Mm-hmm.
what our root chakra does. And it's beautiful because when this energy flows out of us and it goes into earth as a collective human consciousness, it gets picked up by these crystals because they're there in earth, right? So energy
Yes.
is neither created nor destroyed. So
Yes.
energy is getting transferred. So when it's transferred from me into earth, someone's picking it up, right? And it's these little
Yes.
guys that are picking it up and they're storing that energy. And that's how crystals are such amazing influences to the human consciousness, because the crystal consciousness picks up our energy and they know pretty much what we need and in which direction do we need to go. And that's why they're such great influences on us. I hope I'm explaining it correctly. I get too passionate with this topic and I get very
And I
carried
love
away.
it. And I love it. That's why I said I have to talk to you, because the passion that you have for crystals is incredible. And that's the way that you share. That's the only way that you can transmit the love, just when you're
Yeah.
passionate about it.
Oh,
And
that's
I
my
really
pleasure.
love it. I know you have a lot of crystals around you in any
Yes.
type of shape and size.
Yes.
And so I just want to say thank you for all the recommendations that you have given us today.
My
But
pleasure.
yeah, if you can say, anything else about the process of awakening and the crystals,
Yeah.
what can you say about that?
So I love the fact that those who are in their process of awakening right now, and especially when the crystal path is choosing you or the crystal kingdom is showing itself to you, I would say it's beautiful, and it's I'm trying to say it in the right words because I don't want to use words that uh, that are suggestive of it being an easy path.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Crystals guide you, like they're literally holding your hand and guiding you forward. And here's another thing. When we talk about being woke, it's a different story. So being woke is all about understanding what is happening in the human realm, in the human consciousness, right? And figuring
Yeah.
out and standing up for it that this is not okay. Stuff was always happening. I know a lot of we're getting into boomer versus millennials here, but there's a lot of boomer arguments saying that, someone just had this conversation with me and said, you guys are the cotton candy generation because everything is an issue for you guys. And I'm like, yeah, why wasn't it an issue for you? Yeah, that's my question for you. This stuff
Yes.
always existed, but now people are waking up and saying, I'm not okay with this, because earth itself is in such a transitionary phase. The human consciousness is transmitting. We were in a deep discussion about karma yesterday, and it's about how we need to work on our karma and come clean and come to terms with our karma, not just individually but as human collective, so that earth itself can move into the next dimension and move into the higher realm. And having said that, the process of spiritual awakening is always considered to be upwards, right? It's I want to
Yes.
connect with my higher self. I want to connect with the
Yeah.
angels, the Palladians, the
Yeah.
star kids. If I'm a star kid, I want to connect with back to where I came from. There's a lot of upward connection,
Yeah.
and
You want to ascend. Yeah.
you want to ascend. And what happens,
Yeah.
and myself included, by the way, even I made the same mistake that a lot of people make the same mistake. Well, again, mistake is not the right word, but general tendency is to forget
Yeah.
about grounding and just focus on the upper three chakras and just focus on this movement. And this is where crystals are so beautiful, because even something like a seraphinite, if you can see it, it's an
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful crystal, and it helps with connection with the higher realm. It literally helps with connection with the seraphinite angel itself, seraphims, and that realm. But at the same time, it's something that comes from Mother Gaia, right? It comes from Mother Earth herself. So they ground us, at the same time elevate us. And that's just something
And I
which you
love
have to
what you say. Yeah.
experience.
I really love what you say, because we forget, we forgot that we choose to come to Earth at this time to help the planet. We have the option, but we choose to be here in this time, and it's for a reason. And I think the main reason is because Mother Earth need us right now. That's amazing. And thank you, because I know your generation is like very much questioning, and that's the way it should be. Now is the best time to question everything.
Right? It is. It is. And
Yes.
I again, when you go into why wasn't it done before, it's as if you're pointing fingers and putting a blame on it. But the fact is, it doesn't matter. We're here now, and a lot of people are now starting to question something that wasn't questioned, and people are now getting woke and saying this is no longer okay with me, and I'm not going to stand for it. And that is also part of awakening. So spiritual
It's
awakening
beautiful.
is inwards and outwards, and it works both ways. And it's up to you how you want to show up for that awakening. It is totally up to you. You could be someone that is participating in these parades or participating in demonstrations outside. That's fine. You can be someone who's sitting in your room with your crystal and just sending out peace and love. That's fine too. It works both
Perfect.
ways.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's just wonderful. That's just the beauty of the time we live in.
Yes, that's correctly. That's why I love to show this possibility as well, to be able to have your own crystals, to work within. Because if you want to work and work with you, or if you want to work and expand your love, if you can have this help, it will be amazing, because we need all the help. And the universe is giving us everything. It's giving us angels, it's giving us crystals, power animals, sounds. There's lots of possibilities for us just to grab the hand of anything you want.
Right.
And to have just a crystal, like you in your necklace, in your wrists, it's easy, and it's for you.
Exactly. You're right. It's been made accessible enough for us to comfortably have around. And even something in its most natural form, like it's literally picked up from a cave. It's as natural as it is. And I don't know if you can see the lines in there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so these are natural lines in there, and this is a Lemurian crystal. So this actually holds the ancient wisdom from the Lemurian time period and the Lemurian civilization.
Where did you get that?
This was the first gift to me by my mother. So she just gifted this to me, and we had no idea. I've been having it for 9 or 10 years now. And I just discovered this year that this has Lemurian wisdom. All along, I thought it's a clear quartz cluster, but it's a Lemurian crystal, and it's got Lemurian wisdom. So I'm so attached to it.
That?
Well, you see the lines that I showed you.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna try the light to catch it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that these lines are not there in every single crystal, and also it's very alive. So this has just grown last month. This was not there. And this little edge, I don't know if you can see this little edge over here. You can see it protruding here. So while I was away for 4 months, I wasn't here. And when I came back, my husband pointed it out, and he's like, this was never there before. So we have new growths that keep happening on this cluster. So this is one of my most alive clusters that I have.
So they keep growing?
Yes, they do. They do. So
Oh my
crystals by themselves,
goodness.
I love the word you use, infinite, and I wanted to say because the structure is also infinite lattice. It keeps growing in all directions. So they're designed in a way that they're infinite. So when a cluster is in its raw format, which is something like this, it grows.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And how do you take care of your crystals? Do you give them like sun baths? Do you put them in salt?
So
What is about that you need to do it?
Well, first things first, crystals attract other crystals because they love being in the company of, they're like social beings just like us. We love being in the company of our friends. So once you start getting crystals, you will see your crystal collection is going to just keep multiplying. And the more crystals you have around you, the happier they are. But to take care of them, there is saging. So we basically light a sage and just allow it to soak in the smoke of the sage or anything, incense, palo santo. Sometimes we're even lighting oud or bakhur and just allowing it to bathe in that smoke. Sunlight is one of the most effective ways to cleanse your crystal because it's grabbing onto all the vibrations, right? And it's grabbing onto all the energies. So one of the very effective ways to cleanse your crystal is the sunlight. And the moonlight is great for charging your crystals.
Oh, okay.
And one of the most amazing crystals, I'm going to try and grab something without knocking over other stones. Okay. I knocked over stuff. Selenite is one of the most amazing crystals because selenite is a natural cleanser and charger for our aura and for our spaces and for crystals itself. So I get these crystal charging pods produced for myself and my clients. And I just, what I do is I literally just place my crystal on it and it's cleansing and charging at the same time.
That's very clever of you. I love it.
Yeah. Well, selenite is one of the most amazing crystals. We didn't talk about selenite, but I'll need an entire hour only to talk about selenites. It's that great.
Wow. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. How long is the class with you?
So it's 7 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
actually between 6 to 8 hours. It really depends on how interactive the class is and how many questions come up. And we also tend to discuss personal case studies in there. So you could peg it between 6 to 8 hours.
I'm not surprised about that because it is a lot of information.
It is a lot.
Yeah. And it's amazing. Thank you, Sakshi, so much because.
Thank you. You energized me and made me feel better by talking about crystals. I was down with my vaccination 1 hour back when I started. Now I feel like
it's because everything is resonating with you, and I'm just amazed. I just feel that passion of you, and it's making me so happy. I just want to go to the store right now and buy anything that talks to me.
Do that. Go ahead and do that. Don't hold back.
And you know what? I'm going to try to look for mine and then ask you because I know you can talk me like a lot of the benefits and the qualities and characteristics of the crystals.
I would love that.
Yes, I'm definitely going to book a session, a class with you. I really want to know a little bit more. It's like there's a lot of information and the grid. The grid is something that is taking a lot of my attention, and I truly believe and dedicate that. If something calls me, I'm going in that direction like blindly. It's like the best way to go.
Oh, that's just amazing. So, it will be my pleasure.
Thank you, dear sister. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful guide, for always have an answer and a beautiful one, and for introduce us your friends. That's amazing.
Yes, they are my friends. I have more crystals than human friends. It's true, and I'm proud of them. This is Awakening 593.